Now,
you'll get results.
Now that we've said all of that, would you like to have a way of cheating to make it even easier to approach someone so that by the time you actually open your mouth, they're already waiting to hear from you? Would you like to have that? It's a little cheat?
Yes.
This is something which, again, you're going to think it's a mechanical thing, and to some extent it is. However, it's driven by an emotional undertone, and if you don't have the emotions, the mechanics will fall apart, and it'll just come across awkward or sleazy or anything like that. Does that make sense? So I'll give you the mechanics first, and then the emotional elements second, with the understanding that you have to do both, otherwise it doesn't quite work right. Would that be fair? So there is a little signal that human beings give each other all the time. It's something which is part of our, shall we say, primate ancestry. If you look at primates, virtually all forms of primates do the same thing. And it's a little signal that tells other members of your species whether or not they are part of your group. Now, as a hypnotist doing street hypnosis, do you think it would be a good idea or a bad idea to have other people think they're part of your group? Any ideas? It's a good idea, exactly. Have you ever had the experience where you're walking out somewhere, maybe you're going out to the shops or out with some friends, whatever, and someone's on the other side of the road going like, and you're going like, hi, do I know you? And then of course someone comes out the door and you go like, oh yeah, I was just scratching my armpit or something, I don't know. Anyone ever had that sort of experience? What happened to you at that point has nothing to do with the hand. If I do this, right? It's just an odd person standing out there. Even if I make contact with you, eye contact, can you notice there's something flat about it, right? Now, if I just change one thing, and those of you who've trained with me before, please don't say anything just yet. If I just say one thing, who feels a little bit more like, wow, this person's actually, I might know this person. You start thinking your memory banks what's going on. Anyone here have more of a sense of that? What is the difference between the two things I just did? Clearly it's not the hand, right? The eyebrows. So this is known as the eyebrow flash. This is something we've had since the, I don't know, 50s or 60s. It's weird. It's like about 4 people in the psychological community know about it and keep writing about it. No one else seems to know. But it's something that I've seen video footage that spanned since filming began across all cultures. As long as there is human beings, the eyebrow flash is basically a sign of acceptance. The only place that I know of where you have to be more careful is in Japan, where it's considered slightly sexual, in which case, you might get lucky. Or, but then it's not that they don't do it, it's that they suppress it because of cultural reasons. And even there, it's acceptable to do with young children and with close friends, okay? So it's a very natural signal, and the eyebrow flash is not this. You see how that's a mechanical mistake? It doesn't seem right, does it? Right? Nor is it this. I can't do machine gun flashes all across the room because that gets misconstrued somewhat as well, right? So the key to the eyebrow flash is your emotional state. Everyone in here, just think of someone that you really like. A friend, someone you're close to. Can you all do all that? It could even be a pet. The key thing is when you think of that person, you get this like, oh yeah. Everyone can think of that? Put your hands up if you think of someone like that. Now, as you're thinking, this is going to be good for us in a minute. As you're thinking of that person, what I want you to do is just think of them, imagine that they just walked in the room, and without moving any part of your body, just with your face, just light up and welcome them. Go ahead and do that. Right? That's the eyebrow flash, folks. Right? But notice how the emotions make it natural, right? Some people describe it as the airport flash, where people that haven't seen each other for ages, they'll stand there, they're waiting in a row, and suddenly there's a little row of eyebrows that go, ah! Okay, these guys belong together, like kind of hooked up. So what we're going to do now is exactly the same exercise again. Only this time, I want you to make eye contact with someone across the room, and then remember the feeling that you have when someone you really like, maybe project on top of them, and I just give them a quick little eyebrow flash. Let your whole face light up, maybe even smile, and then go over and shake their hand and do your whole thing. But now, you're going to plant the seeds in fertile soil. Does that make sense? So walk around, and for those of you who want to experiment, from time to time, don't do it. See how that happens, see how that works. Make sense? Any questions? Any questions? All right, guys, off you go.